Now let's take a few minutes to look at how the fast track approach helps you bring a phased view to how to manage and support your cybersecurity risk management program. In the fast track approach, everything begins with the adoption of the framework. So when your organization makes that adoption decision, this of course is happening at the governance level. This should be being done by your board of directors along with your senior leadership. Once they've made the decision that they want to use the NIST Cybersecurity framework to organize their cybersecurity risk management program, next you need to consider which families of informative references you might use in order to manage your particular program. Now, you can do this in a lot of different ways. You can use the NIST 853 guidance, you can use CIS controls, you can use ISO 27001. The approach I'm going to show you uses the control family names from NIST 853, but you can use this in any scenario based on your organization's approach. So, based on your choice of informative references, now we have an adaptation to do. Given our particular organization's external requirements, given our internal needs to manage our organizational risks, given the nature of the threat landscape that we face, what do we need to do organizationally to best optimize our cybersecurity risk management approach? So this, of course, begins at the strategy level with a clear set of strategies and policies grounded in creating, protecting, and delivering digital business value and enabling the correct digital business capabilities. As we begin our adaptation, we'll be looking at providing appropriate cascading management policies for how we are adapting those approaches to meet our organization's goals. So what policies might we apply, for example, for how we use things like acceptable use, or any of a number of other cybersecurity-related management policies that describe a particular organizational approach to how we might do cybersecurity within our particular organization. Then we start to look at our existing digital value management approach. Right? How does our organization deliver digital value today? How effectively do we protect our digital capabilities today? How do we create a continual innovation model that will allow us to continually improve our capabilities as we work our way through time? So Fast Track recommends a phased approach. Now, to be clear, when we talk about each phase, we're never really done with any of the control families. So when you establish a set of capabilities, that's literally for now. And as your particular vulnerabilities change, threats change, assets change, the controls you're going to require will need to change to meet those ongoing risks. Nonetheless, it's useful to put a stake in the ground, so to say, and to be able to begin your journey, using a phased approach, looking at a subset of the key control areas. In phase 0, we might be looking broadly at how we do effective planning around our cybersecurity risk management program, how we ensure a core level of awareness and training, how we go about doing things like incident management and incident response planning, how we plan for contingencies to respond and recover in the event of a cybersecurity incident, how we establish or verify the capabilities that we need to manage our cybersecurity risk management program, as well as our general approach to how we do risk assessment. Now, again, to reinforce, this is starting. We're starting these control capabilities, and we'll need to adapt them as we continue to work through the phases. In phase 1, we expand on our phase 0 capabilities. Notice again that risk assessment shows up again in phase 1, but here focusing on some different control families within that overall part of the NIST 853 control structure. Notice again that we expand into configuration management, making for robust access controls, driving assessment and monitoring capabilities, audit and accountability capabilities, and the like. Notice again that all the phase 0 controls continue to be adapted and evolved as we work our way through phase 1. As we get to phase 2, we start to expand out our capabilities. Notice again, many of the control families are control families we've already started working on, where we may be applying additional controls or driving ongoing iteration of existing controls. Finally, as we get to phase 3, we're looking at additional controls that we may need in order to meet our particular set of requirements. Right? Some of these may be externally driven based on certain compliance rules, but many of them, again, are more internally focused based on your particular organization's risk appetite and risk tolerances, and based on the nature of the different threats that your particular industry and organization face. Notice also that there is an extensive addition of recovery controls here that looks at how we go about the process of successfully executing a recovery plan, being able to manage public relations, manage reputation repair if required, and ultimately to be able to ensure effective communications throughout a recovery approach. So you can see that the FastTrack model provides a nice roadmap for looking at your existing cybersecurity risk management program and then taking a broad phased approach that allows you to deal with immediate term issues, to be able to establish a functioning beachhead that you can build off of, to be able to expand your control base, to be able to meet your particular sets of risk conditions. And then, most importantly, that you want to begin to bring a continual innovation, continual improvement approach to all of these control families. Whatever controls you implement are literally for now. And as your vulnerabilities change, as your threats change, as the different types of assets you need to protect change, you're going to need to make changes to update those capabilities to meet changing conditions.